I thought it was best to just have me. I can do everything. I can do it really well. And I've learned over time that that's actually not the case if you want to continue to grow. My name is Christine Marchesiello. I've been with Keller Williams since 2014, and I run a team out of Saratoga Springs, New York. I became a real estate agent just basically by mistake. I was a teacher, and at the time, I wasn't having success finding a teaching job that I was comfortable with. I stumbled into real estate through an experience that I had selling my own house for sale by owner that didn't go so well. I just didn't think very highly of the few real estate agents I knew, and then when I met the one that ended up bringing us the buyer, it furthered that thought of like, they don't communicate well, they are unprofessional. And so I was like, I can do this better. And so that's what got me interested in starting down that path. It took a long time to get going. Like, I didn't make $1 for at least 8 months, and I was almost ready to give up. I was doing all the right things, and I was staying the course and, telling people I was in the business, and I was hosting open houses and doing everything they told me to do, but I just wasn't having any success. And then at that 8-month mark is when I finally sold my first home. And then from there, it really just kept slowly rolling. When I first met with Keller Williams, I was also meeting at the time with several other brokerages because my company had just sold. All of the other brokerages just seemed to tell me the same things, we'll give you this split, here's the marketing we do, but there wasn't really anything different. Whereas at Keller Williams, it was like, come here and try this new way that'll take you to these new heights. And that was enough to make me really curious about what I could experience there. So obviously then over time, I just did so much learning. I mean, there's no opportunities to learn the types of things that there are at Keller Williams. I mean, from expansion to franchising to just everything you could possibly imagine. That really just sparked something in me and made me curious, and that's why I decided to join them. Back when my kids were little, I can remember taking them to the babysitting room at the YMCA, and I would get on the elliptical machine because that was where I could read. So I would open up the MREA book, and then I could do the exercise without running or without doing anything, and so I could still flip the pages. So I was, heavy into multitasking back in those days. And then I did finally have that hockey stick moment that we hear about. I remember that I had made over $100,000, and I just thought that was mind-boggling. That was just not something that I ever thought I would do, and especially in teaching. I was selling about 65 homes on my own, and that was really exhausting. I was working for a builder at the time and hosting open houses every weekend and showing homes when I wasn't. As I started finding more and more success in my individual career, I started realizing that we might be able to afford like a couple of nice things, and I thought that it was really my job to provide something like exciting for my family, like a boat. We actually named the boat Daddy Days, which at the time we thought was really cute because that was like our inside joke of like, oh, it's another daddy day, because that was just what weekends were. They were filled with daddy days.
I would only see my mom like at nights, like before bed, or like not even really in the morning because I would go to school. I remember around that time that I was just like always with my dad.
Looking back, I realized like how pathological that this idea was, that I worked to provide my family activities to do without me. But at the time, that was really defining success for me. In about 2016, a lot of things combined to bring me to the realization that I can't do this alone anymore. But it started with a drop in customer service. I just started noticing that I was getting little things wrong, or I was forgetting to get back to people. I noticed certainly that I couldn't service all the leads that I had. And so that was the first inkling. Around that same time, I went on a 10-year anniversary trip with my husband. And we were in St. John in the Virgin Islands, and I had promised him that I wouldn't work, and I couldn't fulfill that promise. And I had a total meltdown, like just realizing like I can't do this anymore. Like I can't be this high strung. I can't be ignoring my family like this. And then also my daughter drew me this picture that says a girl going to work. And I looked at it and I was just thinking, This is so sad. Like, this isn't mommy and me holding hands with a rainbow over our heads like typical daughters draw their mothers. So that's what led me down the path of exploring forming a team. It started off with just an assistant. Your first assistant really should increase your business. And even though I was a little bit skeptical if that would happen, it sure enough did, just like the model would say. And so then, of course, I had to bring on another agent. After we hired the first buyer's agent, we did 125 transactions that next year. And I realized really quickly that that led to the need for more team members.
If you asked me, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, would you ever work with your wife? I would have, hands down, I did say, no way, never. Because there had been people that said, you'd be a great real estate agent. Christine kind of got to a max level of what she could do in a way. And I saw an opportunity and I thought I'd give it a shot, and it went great. So I got my real estate license in 2017. She gave me the opportunity to start going on appointments, and I found out I really loved it.
I could never have done what I did without Dominick's support.
Our roles might have changed over the last few years, and now she's supporting the family a lot more at home.
I've seen her so much more now, and it's made a total difference.
We set out to accomplish a certain set of goals, like both in parenthood and in success in business and just in life, and providing our children like the life that we wanted to provide them. And in my opinion, we have accomplished everything that we would have wanted to with that. Business is either growing or dying, as Gary says. Today we have 6 agents. We are still hanging out around that 150 transaction mark, which is 70 million in volume. I intend to make it grow and to do everything I can to help it grow, because that's the job that I have signed up for. And I owe that to the team members as well. We just want to have freedom. I mean, that's my definition of success, and I think his as well. Being able to have the financial ability to do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want. For a long time, I struggled at Keller Williams because they always talk about the big why. What's your big why? And the MREA, it does say your big why can just be doing your best job. And that is truly mine. Just to do your best job always, whether that's in raising your children or, work or building systems or helping others or whatever it is. I just like to do things to the best possible level that can be done, and that drives me.